Hey you, it's me. And I just want to do trigger warning on this because I will be talking about very difficult subjects of SA. Alright, so I was thinking a lot about Danny Masterson. And I was watching a video, I think it's Born into Scientology. I think that's the name of it. And anyway, this gentleman was reading over letters that people that knew Danny wrote, like basically the cast members of that 70s show. And they were writing about how they knew Danny as this wonderful father and husband and the best friend, keeping him off drugs and et cetera, which was, very important since he was accused and convicted of drugging young women and then raping them. And he is now serving life in prison without the possibility of parole for 30 years. Okay, so what he did was real and it was serious. Serious enough to get him in prison, okay, for at least 30 years. And it really, when I first heard about this, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it because, he seemed like such a nice guy, right? But then I thought back to when I was freshly 16. And there was the big guy on campus that all my quote-unquote friends knew, that everybody thought was so cool and had a beautiful girlfriend and etc. And I met him while we were all hanging out and drinking, smoking pot, because, that's what we did. And I was way too wasted to walk home. So this cool guy decided to give me a ride home. And so he gave me a ride home. I remember getting there, and I don't remember a whole lot else. I think I remember him coming in. I don't remember a whole lot else. But I do know that he took advantage, let's say, of me in such a state. And maybe in a way I was lucky that I don't recall. I still don't recall because I was just way too out of it. The only thing I remember about the whole day was him saying to me, stay awake, don't go to sleep, which should definitely express just what I was like at that moment. So I don't remember him leaving or anything. I remember waking up and I remember just sobbing. And I wasn't even sure why. And I decided I needed to go take a shower. So I go take a shower. And one of my friends came by and said, I can't believe you. You're such a slut. Why did you sleep with the cool guy? And I was like, I don't know. I don't remember it. I don't remember anything that happened. But I took responsibility for it because I was wasted. And said, well, it was my fault. I'm a slut. And from there on, my quote-unquote friends, treated me like a slut. They didn't treat me kindly. They weren't nice. They weren't forgiving. He didn't take advantage of me per se. It was my fault. And you can compare that directly to Danny Masterson. Oh, he's the cool guy. He's the actor. Everybody likes him. He's so nice. But for some of these guys, and I know that there's a psychology behind it that maybe I will dive into more deeply, they separate people. There's the worthy people that they treat kindly and respectfully and are wonderful to. And then there's the not worthy people that they trash, that they rape, that they do bad things to. And I found it so interesting that all of the actors on that 70s show, or except for one, except for Topher Grace, wrote these letters just, oh, he's so wonderful and he's so great, etc., without considering the fact of what he did when they weren't with him. And apparently there are some rumors, only rumors so far, about Wilmer Valderrama, I think this is how you, I don't know, I don't care, you know who I'm talking about, Fez, and Ashton Kutcher, who apparently both of them have done some dirty, disgusting things that are comparable to what Danny Masterson is now in prison for. And it just blows me away. My friends didn't protect me. My friends, in fact, this cool guy told my friends that he was going to have sex with me. And they didn't stop him. They didn't protect me. And I also got raped. Again, I kind of thank God in some ways I don't recall it, because that could make it even more devastating. And let me just say, it's devastating. These young girls, I don't know how much they know or how much they remember, but they were drugged and then raped. When you're drugged, when you're unconscious or nearly unconscious, you can't give consent. And for somebody to take advantage of them in that state is disgusting. And I only hope that Ashton Kutcher and Wilder Valderrama, or whatever his name is, I hope that both of them someday come to justice too. Because it's just vile. This kind of thing is just vile. The fact that people hide it or they blame the girls is just vile. Danny is where he belongs. And thank God. At least one of the criminals is in prison. I hope the rest end up there too. I hope the other criminals who did criminal acts like that, sexual assault, rape, I hope they go to prison too. Because they've worked so hard to keep this, clean persona. Obviously, Danny did as well. It just didn't work because those girls were brave and stood up for themselves. And thank God. So, even if Danny did this in just, a certain time frame, a small frame, a couple years or a couple days even, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if he never did it again, doesn't matter. He did this to those girls who didn't deserve it. However many there are. There were 3 on record. Apparently there's a whole lot more. If Ashton and Wilmer, whatever the fuck his name is, if either of them did anything like that, then they deserve to be in there too. And for them to, oh, Danny's such a great guy, write these letters, they're disgusting. It's disgusting that they're talking about a guy who did this as if he's some saint. He's not a freaking saint. You just got lucky and he thought of you as a worthy person. But these people who wrote these letters knew these girls. They met them. They talked with them. They hung out with them. So what? Now they don't believe them? They didn't say that. They just stood up and said, oh, well, for anybody who's been sexually assaulted or raped, we feel bad for you. The fuck is that? It's bullshit. That's what it is. And it makes me very angry. It's disgusting. Anyway, I'm glad that Danny Masterson has now seen justice for what he's done. I'm sorry that his child is going to have to suffer without a father. But whose fault is that? Is it the girls that he raped? No, it's Danny. When you do bad things, sometimes there's consequences. And now he knows that. Anyway, putting this chapter behind. Fuck him. Fuck everybody who supported him. Fuck them all. They're all scum. That's all I gotta say.